In most countries, cameras are not allowed anywhere near courtrooms. But in the United States, things are different and you can film in court. Of course, day-to-day things in court are pretty mundane, but every now and then the judge loses control of the court. Sometimes they get angry for good reasons, and sometimes for pretty bad reasons. Check out these judges who had major freakouts and see if you agree with them or not. Personally, I think some of them were less than professional. Lying cop.
I am dismissing this charge.
Like judges, cops have a lot of power. That's why a lying cop can be a big problem. But luckily sometimes judges put things right. That's what happened in 2017 with Judge Frederick Schott. Judge Frederick threw out a jury's guilty verdict. A woman was falsely accused of driving under the influence. The cop never even asked her to do a breathalyzer test, but he suspended her driving license and arrested her. However, in documents, the cop lied, saying that she was driving under the influence. The jury found her guilty, but Judge Frederick found otherwise. He threw out the verdict and told the cop not to lie.
Take it up on appeal with him lying about it.
He also said this case should have never been done. Never.
It should have never been done. Never.
He also said the cop may have broken the law to try and get her license suspended.
And we'll find out why your license was suspended and if somebody broke the law to cause your license to be suspended.
So maybe instead of this woman breaking the law, it was this cop. It's good to see a judge put a lying cop in his place. It's never good when people use their power for bad, but hopefully in the future there are more good, powerful people like this judge. Get out. This one comes from Judge Marilyn Millian. One day in court, the counselor kept interrupting Marilyn. That's when she snapped back, saying, "Counselor, I am directing these proceedings."
Nor have we addressed privity.
Hold on a second, honey. I'm counselor. I am directing these proceedings.
The counselor then said that she should show a tone of respect. And that's when the judge said, "Where I'm from, you've got to earn that."
I am indeed.
Would you rather I call you counselor, doctor, or anything else?
How about Dr. McCaffrey, Your Honor? It creates a tone of respect.
Where I'm from, you sort of got to earn that.
Guess what? Where I'm from, you're born with it.
The man then tells Judge Marilyn to watch herself. And that's when she totally loses it and tells him to get out.
Watch yourself,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Get out of my courtroom! Get out!
A pleasure.
Out!
She screams, "Get out of my courtroom," as the man says, "With pleasure." As the man's removed by cops, the judge says, "I hope that you're beaten to a pulp."
Thank you.
No, oh no, he's not moving fast enough, Douglas.
If Douglas touches
Ouch!
me, you will not be happy, Your Honor.
You know what? If Douglas beats you to a pulp, I'll be delighted. Get out.
I think both the judge and the man were acting very unprofessionally, but at least it is entertaining. I think it's safe to say, though, the man was not expecting that reaction.
Watch yourself, Your Honor.
Get out of my courtroom! Get out!
A pleasure.
Out!
Shut your mouth. In 2009, a Washington state convict and a judge sparred during sentencing. At first, Judge John Wool asks Matthew Hastings, "Did you graduate from high school?" Here the judge is basically calling him dumb.
Now, having said that, Mr. Hastings, did you graduate from high school, sir?
Matthew then says no and begins to get angry at the judge.
No.
Okay, let me give you a little thumbnail sketch of the American system of government.
That's when the judge says, "Mr. Hastings, don't push your luck with me, young man." But then Matthew does exactly that and says, "Or what?"
Don't
what?
press your luck
Or
with...
what? You gonna sentence me? Is that what you're gonna do?
You know what, Mr. Hastings? I am.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
The judge then sentences him to 120 years in prison. When Matthew Hastings tells him to get on with his job, he says, "Shut your mouth."
I don't really want to care why. Just get on with
You
the
shut your mouth, sir.
I'm not.
And then the judge even says he might have him gagged.
Shut my mouth.
Next time, I'm going to have you gagged.
You're gonna have me gagged, huh?
You're right, I am.
Okay. Have me gagged then.
Even after he got a 120-year sentence, he kept poking the bear and annoying the judge. After the court hearing was over, the judge apologized to anyone who was offended by him saying "shut your mouth" earlier. But you can kind of see why. It's clear the two were trying to annoy each other. Do you think that the judge should have acted in this way? Personally, I think in this situation it was warranted. Crying judge. The courtroom can be an emotional environment. But that's normally for the victims' families, or sometimes even the criminal being sentenced. It's not often that the judge themselves bursts into tears. One day, Judge Marblean was sentencing a woman. She was speaking to both a mother and daughter on the stand. But that's when the pair reminded the judge of her own relationship with her family. This caused her to burst into tears. She got more and more emotional and had to get tissues eventually. She then got up out of her seat and even hugged the woman and daughter. Judges in many countries are famous for not showing any emotion, but it seems like the judges in this video are exceptions. Do you think that judges should be crying and acting emotional? I think it's fine as long as it doesn't create a bias. No trousers. A few years back, a woman in Kentucky was arrested, but she was treated very badly by the prison workers. She was denied trousers and female hygiene products, and she was even sent to court with no trousers. The female judge is appalled by her treatment. She picks up the phone and calls to complain about the prison workers. She says this is outrageous. A woman's been brought into our jail and denied trousers.
Excuse me? This is outrageous. Is this for real? Our jail for 3 days, and it reports to me that the jail has refused to give her pants and feminine hygiene products.
She even says, am I in the Twilight Zone right now? Basically saying that everything has gone crazy.
What is this? Am I in the Twilight Zone? What is happening?
The judge feels so bad about how this woman's been treated, she even makes her sentence more lenient. Everyone deserves dignity, even people who have broken the law. Max sentence. In 2011, a man was arrested. He was then let out of jail by this judge under the condition he did not drive. But he broke that condition of his bail and did drive and accidentally took a boy's life. He then went back in front of that same judge, and because the judge kind of felt it was almost his fault, he was absolutely enraged. He said, I told you not to drive, but you made one bad decision after the other.
I told you you were not supposed to drive. So what it tells me is one bad decision after the another. You didn't learn anything. You violated the law again by driving the same car.
Judge William Buller shouted at this man for many minutes. And because he was so fired up and angry, he gave the man the maximum sentence possible.
You were not supposed to be behind that wheel.
The man's defense was that he was just going to pick up some Chinese food.
I was joyriding or anything, Your Honor. I just went to the Chinese place to get me and my kids something to eat.
Did I release you on bail to say that it was on the condition you don't joyride?
But if you ram your car into people while doing that, that really does not matter. The judge was so angry and shouting his voice was nearly breaking. And seeing as it was him who let this man out of prison in the first place, you can see why he would feel pretty bad. Of course it's not his fault, but he would still feel pretty guilty if he were this judge. Rude convict. One day a man was being sent to prison by Judge John Hurley. That's when the judge said that he would be held with no bond, meaning he's staying in jail. The defendant then says, "Are you kidding me?" And then Judge Hurley mocks him, saying, "That's the truth, you're not going anywhere."
You're going to be held no bond, sir, until further order of the court. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. You're not going anywhere. That's the truth. All right, thanks.
The man then calls Judge John Hurley a very rude name, which I can't say. But he's then brought back and given a longer jail sentence.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring him back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring that guy back. Bring him back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, bring that guy back.
You want him back, Joe?
Yeah, I want him back right now. I accept your apology, and I will sentence you to 60 days in the Broward County Jail. Thank you.
He then says, "Can I take back what I just said?"
Can I take the back in?
All right, sir, hold it. Come on back. Come on back, sir. Sir, I'm going to sentence you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days in the Broward County Jail. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
And that's when the judge gives him an even longer sentence. I don't agree with what the defendant did, but I think Judge John Hurley might be on a power trip here. What do you guys think? In my view, it got too personal. Moron. This one comes from Judge Rinder, who is a UK judge. One day a defendant said something rather dumb. They had a terrible excuse for what they did. And that's when Judge Rinder said, "I'm getting into my laughing pose."
Because I'm getting into my laughing pose.
He then posed for a moment before shouting, "Moron."
Moron! In response,
This may be unprofessional, but it is funny and it did make the court laugh. In some ways, it's pretty nice when judges actually speak in normal human terms. And even the defendant who got called a moron seemed to find it pretty funny. Judge versus lawyer. One day a lawyer was defending a homeless man before Judge Hurley, but it seems that this judge and this lawyer have a bad history, and they unprofessionally brought this into the courtroom. Eventually they weren't even talking about the defendant who they were there for. Judge Hurley said that the lawyer needed to be more professional.
You need to pick up your professionalism. You're taking a shot at the court. It's unprofessional.
And he also ranted, saying that he'd admonished this lawyer before. Basically saying that in a previous case he had warned this lawyer.
I don't know what else to do. I've admonished you. I know that someone in your office has admonished you.
If I was the homeless man being defended, I'd be annoyed that these guys are having a personal beef while I'm on the stand. The Bird. One day a girl named Penelope Soto was on the stand in Miami. The judge sentenced her, and that's when the girl said adios and walked off. The judge then told her to come back and gave her an even longer sentence.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Come back, ma'am. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again. Count one will be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios.
Penelope then walked off again, but this time flipped the bird at the judge.
Come back again. Come back again.
He then brought Penelope back again after that and sentenced her to 30 days in jail.
Bring her back again. I believe I heard you saying to...
Yes, I did. I'm not going to do it.
I believe you... Did you say...
Actually, I
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that?
I'm not
I find you in direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county.
Later on, Penelope actually came back to the court the following day and apologized. She said her behavior was irrational and she was given a more lenient sentence.